DSA is what every company expects, be it in a beginner level or at a hard level. Every company is going to ask you something. But when it comes to development, if you mention it in your resume, you can't just get a project, put it on your resume and expect to get away with it. So if you anything that you mention on your resume, they are going to question you about it. So if you've put a development project, you should be thorough enough to answer any question based on the tech stack used there. A lot of resources available online, but a structured resource is what is important. Project without Delta, it won't be possible. And although that I used it, I finished the Delta course so that I can finish my project for my course. But it ended up helping throughout the process, be it for building other projects.
What kind of projects did you have in the resume? What was the tech stack that you used?
Where my teacher wanted to implement a face recognition attendance system. She didn't want a common face recognition attendance system where each face is recognized individually. Project where it shows hotspots with every metro station. So like if you just go through the website and if you enter which website you are in, it just shows all the locations where you can roam around near metro. And the other one was canteen system, and the other one was a seminar hall booking system. So like our college has separate buildings for every department. I'm still in my 7th sem. Even though I'm building my final year project, I also refer back to the Delta course. And also in the interview, where in my resume I had mentioned about the project and I had mentioned Node, Mon, the tech stack used. So they did ask questions about it. So maybe without the course, I wouldn't be able to answer so clearly.
Hi everyone, and today we're going to interview Manish. Manish is our Delta student who recently got selected in HP both for internship and full-time offer. तो आज हम मनीष की complete preparation journey के बारे में जान रहे होंगे, and we are also going to learn about the hiring process of HP. सबसे पहले Manish, let's start with you telling us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Manish Raj and I'm from Bangalore. I'm studying in RV College of Engineering and I'm pursuing my 7th sem right now.
Okay. So you got selected in HP both for internship and a full-time offer. So tell us about the entire interview process of HP. Like how many rounds were there and what happened in each round?
Okay, so I had 4 rounds. The first one being the online assessment, and I had one technical, one managerial and technical, that was managerial plus technical, and one HR round. Okay. So starting off with the online assessment, it was mainly MCQ based. We didn't have any coding questions, but it was clearly about the core fundamentals of CS. We had every subject covered from Python, Java to CN, OOPS, OS, DBMS, and we had few behavioral questions too, including, and we had few questions about the company also. It was a written test, and this was for the OA.
Okay.
And
then in the technical interview?
Yeah, in the first round was a technical round, and as soon as I entered, they checked my resume thoroughly, and they started pointing out things in my resume, whatever I had mentioned. So they went in depth in my resume. Every point I had mentioned, be it my the tech stack I've used in my projects, be it the flow of the projects, whatever I mentioned in the resume, they questioned about everything. And after resume questions, they went to fundamentals, core fundamentals, starting off with OOPS, basic OOPS questions, and following that was OS. OS, they went in depth, questioning about deadlocks, how to solve deadlocks, and all the multi-threading process. The whole OS course, as of what I had learned from my information technology course, it was covered. OS was the longest, and then followed by DBMS. DBMS was mainly questions on a surface level about relational and non-relational databases and differences. And I was asked normal forms. I was asked to give definitions with definitions and examples for definitions. Followed by I had SQL query, simple SQL query. And then CN, a very common CN question, like when you search something on Google, what's going to happen? Explaining all the TCP handshake, SSL handshakes. And after this, in my technical round, we came to the DSA part. DSA, we started off with a simple recursion string question, followed by which I had a 1D DP question, where they expected both tabulation and memorization. And after this, surprisingly, I was asked puzzles.
Okay. So what was asked in puzzles?
It is a common question where there are 3 jars with red, yellow and blue ball, and it's all covered. You won't, and the names are wrong. You just have to, with the minimum number of picks, you have to figure out the colors in the jar.
ठीक है.
Yeah.
So how many students were there when the entire process started, and finally how many students got the offer?
We were 30 students who were called for interview, and in the end of the day, we were 9 of us who were selected to the company.
Okay, and you were one of them. So
Yes.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me about the most memorable part of the entire interview process.
The first thing is that we were called to the office for the interview, so it was a good experience in the office. So that was one of the most memorable part. Like most of the interviews which happens on campus, it takes place in the college, but for HPE, they called us to the office, and yeah, it was a good experience to give the interview in the office.
Okay. And tell us more about what you had in your resume. What kind of projects did you have in the resume? What was the tech stack that you used? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Starting off with, I had basically 3 projects. One was complete backend project. Had also implemented front end, complete MERN project. And the other one was my AI/ML project. It is basically an ML based recognition project. And the other one was also a project which I had done as a part of my college internship. It's just a 2 months internship which I had to do in college. So that was also an AI/ML project. So I had 3 projects.
Okay, tell me about the AI/ML tech stack, and briefly also explain the projects to me.
Okay, so the AI/ML tech stack was basically done as a part of my department project, where my teacher wanted to implement a face recognition attendance system. She didn't want a common face recognition attendance system where each face is recognized individually. She wanted it to happen as a group photo.
Okay.
Yeah, so she wanted to automate it so that teachers don't waste time when taking attendance. Usually in our class, we take attendance for last 10-15 minutes. So she wanted to automate it. So I used MTCNN, SVM and ArcFace. MTCNN for recognition of face, ArcFace for embeddings, and SVM for classification of the faces. So we trained the SVM model with individual faces separately. And then when the group photo of whole around 90 students were taken, it used to recognize the photo.
And where did you deploy it?
We haven't deployed it. I did the initial part of as we started off with the project, it was passed on to our juniors also.
Okay.
So we took part of the AI/ML part, and then the attendance was tracked in the database in DBMS. In the Mongo. We had tracked it in the Mongo, and we also built a website where students would get instant updates as soon as attendance was taken. So in case if they were not recognized properly sitting in class, they could check the website right there. Once the attendance was uploaded, after the photo is clicked, she can upload it right there. They can check the attendance right there. If they weren't recognized by any chance, maybe because of lighting or issue, they could inform teacher and she could correct the negatives marked there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were the other projects?
Another one was a backend project. Complete MERN stack project, which was a club management system for my college itself.
Okay.
It was just to track activity points. We have a activity point criteria where every student has to get 100 activity points by the end of 4th year in order to get a graduation, in order to get the degree. So in order to track that, to make things easier for the club which is giving activity points, we made a club activity system.
And how many users are, how many members of your club are using it right now?
It is gonna be used, we build the project and we've given it to the club. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's on them how they're going to use it actually.
Okay. What was the CGPA criteria initially to apply for the company?
Okay, so HPE, they asked 85% in 10th and 12th and 8.5 in college.
Okay, so they also had a 10th and 12th criteria.
10th and 12th criteria,
okay.
Yes.
So how was your preparation journey like what did you study in your first year, what did you study in your second year, in your third year before you got this final offer?
So first year, actually in my first sem we had an elective called web dev. So it was an elective. I could choose between web dev or Java, so I had taken web dev, and after completing web dev in my first sem is when I decided that I'll continue learning web dev, and that's when I signed up for the Delta batch. So second sem, I had just completely focused on web dev. And in third sem is when I started doing DSA. I started doing DSA for third and fourth sem. And then in fifth sem is when my DBMS course, we had a DBMS course in college. And that is when they asked us to do a full stack project. That is what I did, the club management system. So in my fifth sem, I was mostly focusing on projects again.
Okay.
We had main core subjects like DBMS and CN. So I was more focused on projects. And coming back to 6M, beginning of 6M, back to DSA. I was doing DSA slowly, not very consistently, but I was doing it. 6M is when I started in the beginning, like consistently throughout the 6M, I did DSA. And then I had decent projects by then. So 6M was mainly DSA, and by the end of 6M, when I think a month before of when they told placement I was going to start, is when I started revising my core fundamentals.
Okay. So what do you think was the wow factor in your entire profile in your resume?
Wow factor might be, the department projects whichever I'd done. So they wanted to know more about the department projects which I had done.
Good.
The 5th SEM DBMS project, without Delta, it wouldn't be possible. And although that I used it, I finished the Delta course so that I can finish my project for my course. But it ended up helping throughout the process, be it for building other projects. And even right now, I'm still in my 7th SEM. Even though I'm building my final year project, I also refer back to the Delta course. And also in the interview, where in my resume I had mentioned about the project and I had mentioned Node, Mon, the tech stack used. So they did ask questions about it. So maybe without the course, I wouldn't be able to answer so clearly. Like, there's a lot of resources available online, but a structured resource is what is important.
Okay. So in your entire preparation process, were there any mistakes that you made? If given a chance, you would not like to repeat?
Yeah, that is the main thing is not being consistent with DSA. Maybe I feel I could have been more consistent with DSA, could have solved more questions. I did it in the end of the journey, that is in the 6M completely. But being consistent is what matters. So I think I should have done it throughout.
So let's suppose there's a student who's currently in their first year of college and they're asking you what should be their strategy for preparing so that they can also get a good placement. So what would you advise them to do? What should they study in their first year, in their second year, in their third year? Or should they spend the first year exploring? Like, what is going to be your advice?
Firstly, if you don't have the CGPA criteria, you won't be able to sit to companies. So, and I feel scoring well in the first year is easier compared to when your core subject starts, because the first year is just common subjects. So first year, it's very important that you focus on CGPA and also start with DSA and development, either one of them. Okay, I know you'll be in the first year, you'll be interested in exploring. So maybe just start up with DSA, because anyway in 3rd SEM, the core subject DSA will start. So first year CGPA is important and starting off with DSA will do. And then second year, by the time they come to second year, I think they should start off with DSA and development if they're interested in. Or right now, people have been jumping into AI/ML field. It's on them, but along with DSA, they need to have one experience where they can build good projects.
One skill basically, so that they have some proof of work to show in their resume.
Yeah, that is very important. And when you come to third year, it will mainly be just completing DSA as much as possible based on the companies you're targeting. And third year if you've built a decent amount of projects in second year when your core subjects are going on, it's good. If not, in third year and 5th SEM, you can build projects, and the main thing is not stopping DSA.
Okay. So one thing that I really liked about your projects, Manish, that all of your projects are very practical. Something that is usable in real life, something that can have real traction, something that actual users can come and use. So they are basically like small products out there. So was this by coincidence, or was this something that you deliberately do to build your projects?
Well, we were asked to do such projects in college. So, like I said, in my 5th SEM DBMS course, she said, take up a solution, take up an issue that exists in college and try to solve it. She told, just don't come up with projects from outside. She made it clear, like, I know you guys will just get it from GitHub. So it's better you take a issue that exists in college and solve it. That's how I ended up doing projects that solves the issues that exist.
So can you tell the students more about the projects that your other classmates did? So this was your project that you did. So what other issues were solved through different kinds of projects?
Yeah, with DBMS, the very common thing is Bangalore Metro Rail. So one of my friend did a project where it shows hotspots with every metro station. So like if you just go through the website and if you enter which website you are in, it just shows all the locations where you can roam around near metro. And the other one was canteen system. We have 3 canteens in our college, so you could just order through the website. And the other one was a seminar hall booking system. So like our college has separate buildings for every department, and we have over 12 to 13 seminar halls. So they needed a central system for booking seminar hall. Although it exists, they did a more improvised version of it. These were some of the projects.
Okay, so these are some project ideas that I think students in any college, they can go out and implement them for your particular college.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Okay, so what do you think was more important? Like for placements, I know that you got selected in HP through development, but based on your experience of interviewing for other companies too, what do you think is more important for the entire selection process? Is it DSA or is it development? What should one focus more on?
Well, I would say it depends on the company, but you should know both of it. If you're more than knowing both of it, if you mention it in your resume, you should know it. So DSA is what every company expects, be it in a beginner level or at a hard level. Every company is going to ask you something. But when it comes to development, if you mention it in your resume, you can't just get a project, put it on your resume and expect to get away with it. So if anything that you mention on your resume, they are going to question you about it. So if you've put a development project, you should be thorough enough to answer any question based on the tech stack used there. So,
okay. And is there any special strategy that you used throughout your preparation?
Strategy, not really. I just stuck to the basics of doing whatever was necessary. I just used to browse through internet, watch videos.
Strategy in the sense like some students, they like to, practice mock interviews with their friends. Some students, they form a group and they send each other problem of the day. So this is how they like collaborate and also practice with each other. So is there anything special that you tried to do throughout your preparation that maybe you think the other students are not doing?
Mock interviews, my college, my department actually, after our seniors placement drive, they kept a mock interview in my 4th sem. And that is when I got to know that I was not very confident in the interview. Although I had projects in my resume, in the interview the questions were asked, I wasn't able to answer.
So what kind of mock interview was it?
It was just my senior sitting there, just like an interview. They asked me to get my resume, come in formals, they would sit, go through the resume and just ask questions, DSA and whatever is on resume. Just about DSA and whatever is on resume.
Okay.
And that is when I got to know that I'm not in a good state. So mock interviews is a very important part. Only when you give mock interviews is you know where you stand. So getting my feedbacks from my seniors, they were my immediate seniors. So I knew them. Although I knew them, they took the interview as serious as possible. And after the interview, they gave me feedback of what to work on and what not to mention on resume. Like if there is something I just feel is a common thing every resume has and I've mentioned it although I don't know, it's going to be a problem for me. So they told if there's something you're not sure about, just remove it. It's okay to not have it than having there and falling into a trap.
Yes.
Yeah. So especially I would say the main strategy would be get your resumes reviewed by your seniors, those who've got placed. That would make a big impact. Okay,
so is there any placement strategy that you think is overrated, which doesn't work or which did not work for you, any placement related advice that you heard from anywhere but you think doesn't work?
I would say just doing one of either DSA or development will suffice. I've heard some people tell if you're focusing for a big company, just do DSA and you'll get away with it. I don't think so that works because in the end of the day, in any of the rounds through the interview, they will check your resume and they will ask questions on your projects. So having a balance is very much important.
Okay. Okay, Manish, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just that when you're in interviews, make sure you write your code properly and, give your answers in a right way. Because I went through an issue where while writing DSA, solution, I just wrote a very messy code. So I knew I was wrong, so I just scratched it out, wrote it in the next page, and then when I submitted it to the interviewer in front of me, he was very confused. He was just asking what's going on from where. So it becomes very important that you write a clean code on paper. Most of the interviews, they'll ask you to write it on paper. So if it's wrong, just don't make it shabby. Write a clean code from scratch, and that creates an impact. It's very important that you write a clean code whenever you're writing a code.
Okay. And what do you think was the importance of communication skills in interviews?
Communication skills, it plays a major role. I've seen interviewers give feedback that communication skills were wrong. No, communication skills were not up to the mark. I've heard from my friends that they've got that feedback. Communication skills is just how you give your answers, how you speak to them. I get it, some people might have issues with the language, but being to the point and being clear is very important.
So how did you work on your communication skills?
Well, before going to the interview, my senior had told any questions on project asked. Like usually interviewers would just ask, start off with explain the project, an overview. So answer it in STAR method. Okay, so you tell them the problem statement, the issue, and then just don't go vaguely answering. Keep a structure for every answer what you're gonna tell. When the question is given to you in an open manner, have your answers in a very structured format. That I think that will, the communication, it will land better when you answer it in such a way.
Okay. Okay, Manish. So it was really nice talking to you, and I hope we also got to know a lot of things about Manish's journey, and उन सारी चीजों को हम भी अपनी placement preparation journey के अंदर implement कर पाएंगे. 2 things that I really liked in his entire preparation process, or probably in his entire profile, were first of all having great projects, the kind of projects that can have actual uses, the kind of projects that are usable. तो इस तरीके के जो projects होते हैं, they actually add a lot of impact in your profile in the interviews. So that is something which is important. And second thing that I liked, apart from definitely his technical skills, that his communication skills are also good, and he's able to explain everything to the point in a clear, concise manner. So that is also important when we are giving interviews. So I hope कि इन दोनों चीजों को and additionally technical skills को भी हम साथ में लेते हुए अपनी preparation को भी बहुत अच्छे से कर रहे होंगे. आज के लिए इतना ही, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट इंटरव्यू के अंदर. टिल देन कीप लर्निंग एंड कीप एक्सप्लोरिंग.